I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot. Shoot that. Hey, why not? Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow. Just like the demeanor. I'm feeding my fans.
Welcome back, Flog members. This is Talking It Out with the Commish. We have our Week 4 recap. I have Freddie Owens over here. Unfortunately, Fred, it's not been ideal. It's not an ideal start.
I'm the best worst team to ever exist in the history of this league. It has been far from ideal.
It is crazy. Like it's a crazy thing. Now, I think we'll get into who you're playing this week, everything like that. But hopefully there's some better days ahead for you.
Yeah.
But why don't we get right into it? We can start out with the calls of the week. And I'll just like hit it off first. Just get this out in the open. The trade that almost happened, never happened, and the fallout from that. So, just being fully transparent, this was a very much. I'm driving home from or I was like driving somewhere. Send out the text in the group chat. Anybody want to trade? Tyler of all people, who never responds, like within like 2 seconds, is like
Never responds.
He sends a text, and my literal response to him was, "Well, this wasn't who I expected to see. I'm fully expecting to see Derek. Like, who are we kidding? Like, I'm expecting Derek to be the one, but it's Tyler. So I'm like, okay, like, what are you looking? Like, what do you need? He's like, I just want to like change some stuff up. I said blank check. I want Tua. I want Eckler. You name your price. He named his price. Looked pretty good to me. I said sure. I'll throw in, Jordan Love, just to equal things out. Okay, perfect. It was very like easy conversation. Didn't take more than 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then as that's happening, he kind of got some cold feet, which even I was like, that's like a lot of pieces for me on my end to give up. Because I
What was
truly
it?
thought
Four or five players for two?
And it was Eckler who wasn't going to play. He was doubtful at the time, and Tua off of the big week.
Right.
So Tyler was going to get 2 starting running backs and Nico Collins, who ended up blowing up this week.
He did.
So like that would have definitely like put me in a spot where I would probably have lost very easily to Eric. And none of that ended up mattering. The fallout, I think Turtle really wanted Tua, and I think he settled for Kirk Cousins, and I think that's kind of how that snowballed out. So
that's what you meant in your text about. I hope it didn't affect other trades.
Yeah. Now, look, at the end of the day, like I could have let that trade go through, me and Tyler's, and if the next day he was like, I really am not feeling it, I would have just traded him back. Like to me, a trade is both sides should be happy. So if like he's like walking away from it, like I don't like this at all. Like I'm second guessing myself. Okay, no problem. Like I'll take my players back. Like I left it just as happy as I started it. So Tyler didn't. So it was like, okay, no problem. Like all good.
It was a classy move by you. I mean, like I've definitely I was in that situation. I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago. Where like you get excited to do a trade, and then like I don't know, like so I just appreciate we got a group of guys that can talk about that stuff afterwards, and we got systems in place to null things if they need to be.
Sure.
But like at the end of the day, like what I've learned from my experiences with that is that if you don't love a trade, like if you're not looking at that offer and like,
Yeah.
all right, cool, like just say no. Like
Yeah.
it's fine. It just say no.
I mean, I
Um,
know I know I take it to another extreme. Like I will actually type out my roster with the new people in it.
I love negotiations with you. Yeah.
And I'll look at it and I'll be like, yeah, I like this, or I'll be like, oh, I'm losing too much on that. So I try to like put myself,
Yeah.
put my roster together based on the new people coming in. And I would encourage, some other people, you don't have to necessarily type it out or whatever, but just like try to like conceptualize and be like, okay, like this is what I'm working with now, and like just kind of put yourself
Yeah.
through it beforehand, but it's all
You gotta
good.
have that visual
Yeah.
for the following Sunday morning when you're looking at
Mhm.
setting the lineup and all.
So and like, I'm happy to keep my depth there as well. So like so that's all I wanted to like let that out there. No hard feelings at all.
No, I don't think anybody holds
Yeah.
it against you.
And then so we'll go with your point, depression versus panic. I love it. I'm very intrigued. When I would put yours in, I
Yeah.
absolutely loved yours, so this should be good.
Yeah, I mean, depression versus panic. What can I say? Like, I panic to me, like, I'm very curious to see what the sulk meter has to offer this week.
That'll be good.
Because like I am not panicking. The fact that I'm 0-4 is far from ideal, as you
Sure.
said, getting into it. But I look up and down my team and I'm like I'm just sad. I'm not scared. I'm not like I will happily go toe to toe with anybody in this league. Line me up against Daddy Doubles again. If my lineup pops, I'm confident I'll take it with him. But like
You are aware that you have
it's
Josh Dobbs in your as a quarterback right now.
you are aware that Justin Herbert's on a bye week.
I'm just messing with you. I just had to look at your roster.
You
Dude,
got to do what you got to do. Hey, Josh
hey,
Dobbs is popping.
I bet you
Josh Dobbs
Josh
is popping.
I could 100% I bet I wouldn't be shocked if Josh Dobbs outplays Joe Burrow this week. So unfortunately there's
I,
that.
dude, he's playing good football. I just need a solid like Justin Herbert's QB1 right now.
Sure.
Absolutely killing
I'm
it.
just
He was
messing with
the
you.
one. Brett, he's the one player I wanted this year, and he's got the bye week. Here we go. Bye week season starts.
Yeah,
But anyway, depression versus panic. I'm not panicking. I really like my schedule coming up. I think that there are some good opportunities to be had. And I mean, the lowest amount of points I've scored was actually against you, and that's 102. And I mean, like that's not a small amount of
no,
points. So like
sure,
I'm just depressed at the fact that there's a big old bagel in my win column.
for sure. And that can change, and like we've seen it, like Sonny and Sonny
Yeah,
he started 0-5, and that's like the metric. Like it's not always going to
yeah,
happen, but if you're going to need a win this week. You're going to need it for the
I
soul,
know.
the team. They're going to need to see a W in the win column.
I know. I
So
know. The boys are getting restless down there in the locker room.
makes
They're
sense.
all right. Tell me about Justin Fields, Matt.
Yeah, F that guy. As you can see, that is my next point. F Justin Fields. I mean, I've been talking a lot of smack on Justin Fields to Eric, through memes, through anything possible, and you know what? Eric stuck with him. He balled out, and I give Eric props for that. That's why he won. So,
I give my brother a lot of props for riding out
yeah,
Justin Fields.
I I got nothing more than that. Then he shut me up. Eric shut me up, and good for him. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so f that guy. So you went double D's perfect season. I don't think we've had a perfect season
We haven't.
in
I
Flog.
looked before I
So
posted that.
I mean, he already sent me a text today, basically telling me not even to bother. Uh,
Do you play him this week?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's
Oh,
not
good
looking
luck.
any better for
Oh,
Minnesota.
that's right. I remember from filling out the sheet later.
Yeah. So what do you think? You think he can do it?
I think he could do it. I actually so like I went through his schedule for the rest of the season last night, and I was curious about his bye weeks. I was like, oh, like do the Niners and the Vikings have a bye week on the same week?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that
Mhm.
that could be an L for him. But and even with his depth, but no, man, I think he could do it. And like here's the thing about Zach. We're all wanting to see him succeed, and I know he's feeling good. I think we got to stop praising him. I think we got to start putting the pressure on him. So Zach, I want to see you have that perfect season, man. I want to see you. I want to see that bagel in your L column.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think that would be pretty cool and special to watch if somebody had a perfect season.
it would be. I mean, I would say that it's not too hard every Sunday morning to look at your roster and be like, should I play Christian McCaffrey and Justin Jefferson? Like, he has some pretty obvious choices. But I will say,
Right.
like you said, bye weeks, injuries. Zach
Yeah.
hasn't been this far. Like, there's some intangibles there. Like, there's some things that he's gonna have to figure out. But I mean, man, there's
I mean,
not too many
let's look
question
at
marks here. What were you saying?
not too many. Not too many, but like let's look at Swift and Montgomery, right? Like two guys, and mind you, these are first world problems, as Zach said in the group chat the other week. But like, between Swift and Montgomery, like you
Yeah,
could if you're in a shootout, like the difference between those two, you can't go wrong with either. I think any
yeah,
of us would love to have that
yeah. I
that
would love
choice,
that
but
problem.
absolutely. So we'll see how it plays out. But
Yeah.
I think he could pull off a perfect season. I think it'd be cool to see.
Yeah, and truthfully, I don't think that's a good point. Like, I love this point that you had because I don't think it's too early to talk about it. It's full on possibility, and I
Not
know
with the points he's putting up,
after 4
dude.
weeks, but it's a
Did he hit
scary
180 this
reality.
week? Did he break 180?
Probably. I think it was like 188. It was disgusting.
Crazy.
Um, and so yeah, I like that you went with your third point. The brutality of the Burger King commercial because we were texting about this, and I thought the story was really funny. So I'll let you explain what happened there.
So Steph and I dipped down to New Jersey for a very brief weekend. I do apologize. I'll just apologize first. Like, I never get in touch with any of y'all. We're always down there for a super like quick thing, an event, and have to shoot back up to get to work on Monday. Um, so anyway, so this starts in. I'm already like, all right, I got to watch the Eagles in the car. So I'm driving. Steph's kind of in and out of sleep in the passenger seat, and we're just going through New York, just in that brutal New York traffic, bumper to
Mhm.
bumper. And the Commanders are driving. I think it's somewhere along like the fourth quarter, as I think all of us were like, "Oh shit! Like we're in a
Mhm.
game here. Like this is
Yes.
not fun as an Eagles fan." So I got traffic. I got that, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just check my fantasy score real quick. Let me just see what's going on. I flip over on my phone on the dash. I didn't even look at the score. All my eyes landed on was Stephon Diggs 3 touchdowns. And I just flipped it back to the game. I just flipped it right back to the game. Steph saw me do that and she goes, "Is it bad?" And I turned to her, and before I could even open my mouth to respond, Whopper, 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 Whopper came
That's
through
exactly.
on the game feed, and we both just died.
Oh my gosh. No, I mean that's how that goes. I swear, it's like it like knows when you're just in down bad pain. Like, that's a good one though. Like, I mean, it's not good, but it's a good story for the group.
It was funny. It was
Yeah.
very funny.
So yeah, that were our topics this week. Good stuff to get us going in to our first team all bench. And we'll run through these fairly quick. I put Nico Suave, Nico is balling out right now. This is twice now he's landed on the first team all bench after putting up 30, close to 30 points. So keep saying he's a lineup lock, so I think I might have to just like leave him in there. So Nico Suave, 32 points. Montgomery was kind of on Zach's bench. He was in his IR slot, 33 points, monster game. And Russ Wilson, 27 points. He wouldn't have made the difference for a turtle, but he had him starting, and then he made the trade, so he probably felt like he had to go Kirk Cousins. But Russ has actually looked not bad this year, so that's pretty cool.
He hasn't, and like that Chicago like I don't know that I'm surprised that game was as high scoring as it was,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess I'll segue this to my side of the column
Yeah,
here, and I'll just use my bottom two portions with
sure.
Khalil Herbert and DJ Moore. But
Mm-hmm.
like that game was, from a fantasy perspective, highly productive. I didn't watch any of it. Like I
Oh,
said,
it
I was in the
was.
car.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, but like, but I mean, like, these are all bench warmers we have here. I don't think any of us I don't think any of us were ready to put any of those guys into a starting lineup. But I also
No.
don't think anybody was expecting 20 plus points from Russ, Herbert, or more.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean,
I know from
I think
good.
DJ Moore can work his way in. As long as Justin Fields can keep showing like he's at least capable of getting it to his wide receiver one, but Herbert, I'm still iffy on, and nobody feels confident playing any of those three, like you said. But I think it's
Yeah,
time to turn the page maybe on Moore. And then you mentioned one
yeah.
more
No,
guy.
I mean, and yeah, I mean, it's we'll see if the Bears can keep up that consistency. As far as Lamar Jackson goes, I don't blame Tyler whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tua's coming off that ridiculous ass
Yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah,
I would have played him too. I played Mostert. Like I did not think the Dolphins would be as stifled as they were, and it sucks to see 30 points sitting there on your bench. I get
yeah.
that. But I don't blame Tyler whatsoever for rolling with
No,
Tua against Buffalo.
I mean, if Tyler's gonna hold two quarterbacks that are top 10 quarterbacks, he's just gonna have to go with those the beating, the big points on the bench from somebody. Like you're probably gonna get big points anyways, but
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, first team all bench. Um, and here are our studs of the week. I'll let you start with your guys.
Yeah, so Josh Daddy Allen,
Mm-hmm.
can we combine him with Diggs for your first pick? That was
Yeah.
painful. That was painful to just be victimized by
Uh-huh.
those
76
two.
points right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. It looked like the Madden simulation. Uh
Yikes. But yeah,
43.
I mean, that's why JL went after Josh Allen in the third round. Like he had a
Mhm.
plan going into that draft. He
Yeah.
left the first three rounds with Diggs, St. Brown,
Mhm.
and Allen, and man, it paid off for him here, at least between those two.
I mean, you figure the Bills are probably going to win 10 plus games, and they're going to win because of Josh Allen and Diggs. So you
Yeah,
figure you're setting yourself up with like at least 10 plus games of opportunities where
yeah,
Diggs and Allen are going to, perform. So that's pretty awesome. Like that's probably I think the best stack you can have in fantasy.
hands down.
It was I had that for a good portion of last year. I loved it.
Yeah.
So you went AJ Brown, who
Oh yeah, go
thankfully is
Birds,
coming to
baby.
life.
For real. How did all you guys who missed that parlay last week feel about seeing him score twice
Not
this
great
week?
because I think I had 3 weeks in a row or two. It was definitely 2 weeks in a row, and then I think he might have scored last week or 2 weeks ago, and then last week. But hey, maybe I'll just stop betting him, and that's fine. Do it
Hey,
for the
hey,
do it for the Eagles.
he can do whatever he wants if it means a bird's dub. But no, I mean, what a stellar performance from AJ Brown. I don't from an Eagles fan perspective, I don't love the hey guys, let's gun for the end zone with a minute and 45 seconds left on the clock and hand it over to a streaming Commanders team who's
Yeah.
taking advantage of us. But this is about fantasy football, so that's a different conversation. But AJ Brown balled out. Kudos to JT. That's why he kept him
Mm-hmm.
was for weeks like that right there. And I know he was salivating for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean, it was an impressive stat line. 2 touchdowns, 170 yards. Definitely looking like the AJ Brown we all wanted. So
love to see it. And I guess I'll go with my last guy, Devon A. Chain. Zach Bear, this hurts my soul, but I'm happy for you. I think I said the other week sarcastically, oh, Mostert's going to have 4 points, you know. We'll get to that in the next slide. But, yeah, I mean, great scoop on A-Chain. I was lurking on the waiver wire. I strategized my waiver approach this year, so now I'm just hovering in that top spot,
mm-hmm.
still hovering there. Still hovering there, but I saw it. I was like, I know Zach Bear is going to pick up A-Chain, and you did, and I'm glad you played him. Kudos to you for playing him because he was probably the most productive member of the Miami Dolphins this week.
Yeah, he not only was it the right call to play, but he also kind of had to. He's had some underperforming players, and A-Chain looks like a beast. Like I'm not even saying Mostert's gonna be out. Like I think they're gonna, because I think the snap count was like 32 to 29. Like it was pretty equal.
Yeah,
Um, I think it's just gonna go back and forth between A-Chain and Mostert. You're never gonna know. But A-Chain
absolutely,
definitely, he looks like the future there. So
big time. Yeah, Monster's old. I don't know what year, what his age is, but I mean he's been around the league for a minute.
yeah.
But Dolphins are set up. They're set up. All right, who you got, Matt? Tell me about the guy in your second column there again.
Well, I mean, I feel like I keep bringing this guy up, Justin Fields, but I gotta give him credit. 35 points kills me to say it. But I do respect Eric's willingness to stick with him. Hopefully that doesn't become his downfall, sticking with him. But like 355, great performance. So yeah, Justin Fields, and then Derrick Henry is somebody that Zach Bear absolutely needed to do something, and he did a lot of things.
Yeah.
Passing touchdowns, rushing touchdown, 120 yards against a Bengals team that I don't even know what's happening there, but he definitely absolutely needed Derrick Henry to perform like that. He also had Josh Jacobs go up, who I just want to make mention that another person that he absolutely needed to get the work because I think he took probably those two in the top 3 rounds. So
Jacobs
um,
was the keeper, and
yeah,
then Henry was his first pick.
so yeah, he's
Yeah,
been needing those guys to step up. So big week
big
there.
time.
Um,
I'm glad you shouted him out too, because I was torn between Jacobs and A-Chain. I wanted to shout out A-Chain as the stud of the week for the plug and play
yeah,
that he
no, it
did.
was
But
awesome.
Jacobs absolutely stepped up big for Zeebs, and you'll love to see it. I love to see my boy get a win. I'm sad that he left me in the Owen column all by my lonesome, but not for much longer. Here comes the Bijan mustard.
All right, well, you heard it there. We'll head on to the duds of the week. I went Aaron Jones. You went Raheem Mustard. I love it. Not to
Yeah.
be confused with Raheem Mostert or Bijan Mustard, but we have Raheem Mustard.
This
When,
week is a must win too.
I mean, it must have felt awful because we're all riding you this whole week. The whole,
Yeah,
how could you not have to play him? Have to play him, and then you're like, fine, I'll play him, and then 4 points, 9 yards, and a fumble.
yeah, no, that was rough. That was rough. That's the JL effect, though. That won't happen next week.
Sometimes you just gotta chalk that up. I actually forgot that you were playing John, and that's John doesn't allow things like that to happen. Everyone's in
No,
the group chat. Raheem Mostar, this, that, and the other, and John's like, "Hold my beer, I'll take care of this problem." So,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I went
yeah.
Aaron Jones,
Mhm.
because that was such a like a sad moment. I felt like for Turtle because that was a Thursday night game. They're saying Aaron Jones is playing. He's probably thinking, okay, I need at least like 10 to 15 out of him, and to only get 1.9, just really rough. It's tough scene right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I got Jones in the dynasty league, and it hurts. It hurts after the week one that he had to have that be the comeback performance. But also better days ahead. We all know Aaron Jones,
Mhm.
you know. Um ah. So anyway, I went with George Kittle. And thankfully he's made the dud list because it would have made my loss a lot more painful. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Kittle's interesting. I put him on there, and then I was like looking back through his numbers through the weeks. His high score out of 4 weeks was 12 and a half. And other than that, he hasn't broke 5 points. I'm going to say something right now. Hot take. I have never been high on George Kittle. I think because the 49ers just have too many mouths to feed. And in a game where you score 35 points, to have a star player, put up one and less than a half, like, I don't know, mega bummer. John still got the win, so whatever. I'm sure he doesn't, care. I wouldn't care. I still got the win, but like George Kittle, I feel like is a lot more hype than results. Um, so I'm gonna slap my man in the dud column there.
No, I would agree. I have him in another league. It was an auction league. I There was a few tight ends that went off the board. Kind of maybe overspent a little bit on him. But I was thinking, okay, he's a top 5 tight end, and he's also one of those guys though you almost have to play every week because he
Yeah.
does provide you that opportunity of, well, if this person goes out or if Brock Purdy wants to, like, Brock Purdy could come out. Him and Purdy had a great relationship down the stretch last year, uh,
Hmm.
touchdown after touchdown. So could be better days ahead for him. But also I would agree with you. He, I don't know like how much he even cares. Like he's just like he's got so many other things. Like Kittle's like there's like rumors he wants to retire and go do like WWF like wrestling. Like he's like a strange guy.
He
With
is.
that
He
said, he's on
is.
one of the best offensive teams. Probably still got to play him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I would agree. He's kind of. It sounds crazy. He's kind of always on my do not draft list. Like
mhm,
I don't know. The 49ers are tough unless it's CMC. Like there's just too many mouths to feed over there.
yeah.
He provides the upside, but I don't know. So yeah, dud. Tell me about your QB, Matt Bear. Tell me about your QB.
We'll
Tell me about the jersey in church too. How did that
uh,
play out?
I'm like sitting there in church, okay, and like I like just happen, and the church isn't like huge, but it's not like small by any means. So I'm like, preacher's going. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like looking around a little bit, and I see the white Joe Burrow jersey on this like guy. He had to be like in his 60s. I'm like, okay. But then I got this thought in my head. I'm like, oh, this could be good. And then I remembered seeing Dallas. I saw a Micah Parsons jersey last week, and Dallas defense got shredded. So I was
They
like,
got smacked in the mouth by Josh
yeah,
Dobbs.
yeah, like it was rough. Um, give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but yeah, it was rough seeing the Joe Burrow jersey there. I just was like, no, this is not good. And he's 4.1 points here. I don't have any words really. Like, I literally got a notification today, and it was like, what did it say? Field Yates reveals why he has Joshua Dobbs ranked up above Joe Burrow in fantasy this week, and I like threw my phone. I'm like, what world are we in right now?
I got a notification. It's from Bleacher Report. Burrow says, "This is the best I've felt. Joe is optimistic. The worst of the calf injury is behind him. I call bullshit. I've
I
as a football fan and as a fantasy manager of Joe Burrow, how do you feel about this situation? Are you ready to move away from him?"
um I well also the fact that I had a year-long calf injury myself. I know that this
Sure.
thing is nagging and it's a pain, and every time you think it's better, it's not. So in my opinion, I don't like and I don't know how like get I don't know the severity of it, of course, but it's definitely impacting it. And if you think about it, your leg, like you throw with your leg, so
I was just saying, isn't it his right leg? So like that's
that's
his
his push
push-off
off.
leg.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So
That's
like that's
got to be hampering him.
and even if like you have a little pressure coming on you, you got to like make a quick move left or right, like all those things like
Yeah.
factor in. I also just don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, is he as an? I'm gonna hold him on my roster until I absolutely can't. Because I
At
think
what
yeah,
point are you going to plug Jordan Love into the starting
he's up.
lineup?
Jordan Love's already in, and he's staying in. Nothing's changing that. So Jordan Love this week.
Oh, you got him. I didn't even, I'm looking at last week's boxer. I didn't see you got him lined up for this week.
Oh yeah.
All right. All right. I like it.
And then I went Chris Olave. Just JT needed every player to perform, and point 0.9 points out of Olave, out of your, a guy you're expecting high points,
Yeah.
just not cutting it.
I'm a little disappointed for JT and Olave. I think everybody expected a little more out of him this year. New
Mhm.
quarterback. Maybe they're still figuring it out. I don't know. We're entering week 5, and I feel like Olave hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah.
Not in the way we all thought he would. But I rocked with Tony Pollard as my last dud, and 7.5 is, sorry JT to pick on you again. I mean, I don't think if Tony Pollard popped it would have helped you win, but like I just feel like what did Dallas score? 38 points
Mm-hmm.
to 3. You're up that much. You're any one of us are going to run the football. Like, why does Tony Pollard have 7.5 points?
Sure.
That's just you want more production from a star running back, from a first round running back. With that. So that's 7.5's not gut wrenching, but like it's not great. I'd
No,
be peeved.
not when
You
you have to
know,
play daddy doubles. Like you need more.
no, you need no vacations that week.
Yep. So yeah, so they were the studs and duds of the week. I will run through the standings very quickly. Eric
I
is
don't want to watch the standings.
Eric at the top 4-0. Derek 3-1. Um, Turtle 2-2. Zach Bear gets his first win, 1-3. Tyler 1-3. In the Zach Schwint division, we have ZS 4-0. Myself and JL 2-2. JL has the head-to-head, so he's in second. JT 1-3, and the Bijans are 0-4. better days ahead.
Best worst team ever.
So for the sulk meter, we switched it up a little bit. So you can take it in. I'll run through it real quick for those that are listening. With all the Kelsey love, with Taylor and all that, I am getting tired of it. But we got full green, all me. It's Travis Kelsey pumped after the Super Bowl last year. So he's your full green today. I have the Kevin James meme where he's like kind of smirking,
I
and
love that. I
me
love it
too.
so much.
So the caption is, "Oh, you think you can win with that team?" And it's him just like, "Yeah, like definitely can win." So that's like you're almost to full green, like you're right there. You're feeling very good. We have the change my mind meme where it's just like him sitting there and he's saying I have a shot. So like
Yeah.
change my mind that I don't. So you're kind of sitting on the fence right there. And then from there on, we have the Shannon Sharp, ain't it, bruh? Like he's just like just all mad, like just not having a good time. And then finally, I don't know if that'll ever be taken off. This is the worst, Michael Scott. Um,
It's a great red part of the
yeah.
sulk meter.
I mean that's probably gonna stay because I don't think you can get lower than that face. And
Nah.
so for the standing for the we'll run through it. Uh, we'll just lump Zach Schwint and Eric together.
Okay.
We're definitely they're definitely all me. Like I think they.
You think Eric's all me? I think Eric's in the Kevin James category.
Okay.
I
See,
do.
he's cocky. Well, then he likes to hide. He can hide it because
He's wicked cocky. He is wicked, and like Eric and I talk every Sunday morning, just like about the week, about like everybody's
okay,
lineups. I look at his team. I don't know how Eric is 4-0. I
nobody
like,
does.
dude, the for and against is, and like, I don't know. Points don't lie until they do, and they're lying to us all here. But like, I'm not buying it yet. Eric, I'm coming for you. You're on my schedule soon. I'm here to make a mockery of you when it's time. I think you're in that Kevin James column. Zach
Yeah.
Schwint is in that all me. He's
Sure.
feeling it. I don't.
All right. You know what? You swayed me. I've been calling him Jarek because he's basically JL and Eric combined. So I've been calling him Jarek lately. So
Last week that was a riot.
um yeah. So okay, I got you on that. So I can roll with that. I think he thinks he has a better team than he really does. Or he's like right, or he might not think he. I don't think anybody thinks they're as good as Zach Schwinn. So let's just get that out there.
Correct.
Um, but all right, so we'll move on to Derek. 3-1. He's 3-1, and he did not have Cooper Cup all this time, and now he gets Cooper Cup. Possibly.
Yeah.
Like, they say
Possibly.
they
Derek's
said he's
got him plugged in right
practicing.
now.
Yeah, he
Cooper
wants to
Cup has
play.
a 13.9 projection in there, so
He wants to play. He said he's back. I don't know if I'll have a snap count, but the Eagles are kind of soft in the secondary, so he might feast if he gets to play. So
I agree. I I'll be honest, I think Derek is in the Kevin James category as well. I think he likes to play the role of victim a lot, and
definitely.
we all trashed him coming from draft night, but you have the ability as commissioner to see all the name changes. I want to see Derek's name changes because right now he's feeling pretty confident with looking purdy.
Yeah,
And I
that's a.
think after Keenan Allen had a couple of snapping weeks,
Mm-hmm.
I think Derek's feeling pretty good, and he's trying to be low key about it. So I think Derek's right there with Kevin James, and
Derek,
sitting at 3-1. How
yeah,
can you not be?
I would agree. Um, so there are no other 3-1 teams at this moment. So we can move on to we'll move to John Leonard. Um,
John
John,
Leonard's I have a shot.
yeah, I would say he should. And I just heard a thing. His team's gonna get stronger too. He has some buys this week that are hurting. Um, I would say he has a shot. Change my mind. Like I think he's like,
Yeah.
why not? Um,
Yeah. You got Allen and Diggs. Michael Pittman is gonna, as Anthony Richardson gets work back in, he'll be good. Amon-Ra St. Brown's gonna find his groove with Jared Goff. But like, I mean, outside of that, it's kind of rough. We talked about Kittle already, you know. Um, but like I you're 2-2, you're 500, and you're by no means out of it.
yeah.
You got a
Um,
shot.
for sure. Turtle. I think. Well, at this point, I'm gonna say Turtles. Saying this is the worst because looking at his roster,
Dude,
he
what's he
doesn't
doing?
he doesn't even have like players in the lineup. So I don't
I
know what's
think
happening.
I
Unless
think
he's
he's
like,
trying to play head games with me.
you think he's like just like benching them so that like they're like put in timeout or something like for performing
I
bad?
don't know. We'll talk about it when we get to the we'll talk about that more when we get to the game predictions because I
Okay.
was perplexed by that myself. But I
Yeah.
mean, again, Turtles 2-2. Turtles on here last week. He loves his team. I love Turtles team. Like you I
That
love your
was
point
before
about a
the trade.
healthy Kamara. He did make that trade. He did make that trade.
So now I think it got a little bit weaker.
You
Um,
think? I mean, Kirk Cousins still chucking the ball. I mean,
yeah,
like,
for sure. Like
you
he
know,
definitely gained some things back. I'm just saying I think there's different ways to look at it.
yeah.
But yeah, so I would say after this week he's feeling like this is the worst, but I'd say he's probably in between. I think he's probably around. I have a shot. Um, but I think he's probably like at this moment feeling like this is the worst because
Yeah. That's a wide span of a take. I think he's still feeling like he has a shot. And I mean, going up against somebody that's 0-4, how can you not feel like you have a shot? So get confident, Turtle. I'm here to break your heart.
uh, well, Tyler can't even put up a team with 100 points projected, so this is the worst. That's not even like
Tyler's, this is the worst. Next one.
myself, so I can answer for myself.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
between I have a shot and it ain't it. Like ain't it, bro? Like it's I don't like a lot of things on my in my roster, but I also like I know I have the 125 projection. I feel like there's too much like uncertainty with I just look at my team and I feel like some people would be like, "Oh, I love it." I'm not I need some more wins in the column. I don't like starting out like this.
I feel you. It's tough. It's tough. I think if the Bengals situation were different, you would
Yes.
feel a lot different.
100%. It's
You
all
know?
I I will say that my this whole season is 100% dirt. Like everything that's happened for my team is because of Joe Burrow and me taking him in the 4th round. Simple as that.
That's kind of what I love about this game is the lack of predictability with
Mhm.
stuff like that. Nobody pegged the Bengals to be in this situation. Everybody drafted, even Derek with Jamar Chase. Like,
Mhm.
imagine what Derek's team. Derek's team's 3-1 with Jamar Chase struggling.
Yeah.
So Matt, I think you're in there if I have a shot. I think you're looking at it a little bit pessimistically with the Shannon Sharp there.
I uh
Um,
I look at things very week to week too sometimes, so
you got to. You
yeah.
got to. Yeah. So anyway, who's next?
We have JT. Now this is an interesting one.
Oh, it is an interesting one. Coming from the guy who got mollywopped by him week 1. JT doesn't have a kicker in his lineup right now.
So you figure you'll add in another 7 points. So that's 127.
Yeah. I feel like JT might be saying, "Ain't it, bruh?" You said that JT, I think early on, it was the first or second TIO. You said JT is a realist, and I know my cousin's definitely a realist. And I don't know, like I don't think he's gonna talk. I think he's hopeful and optimistic,
Yeah.
but I don't think he is like
He's like me,
I
man.
don't know.
He's how I
Yeah,
think. Like I'm a
yeah,
realist. I see it. Like I know where this is, and I don't like it. But I also don't think like I'm that far off, and I don't think JT's that far off.
correct. And I mean, give it another 3 weeks. A lot of these records can change drastically in another 3 weeks.
And you know what?
I
You know what? I have a point to that. I think, and me and JT are even in more ways alike. A lot of his depended on Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor
yeah,
Lawrence isn't even in his lineup this week either. He's going CJ
we play in
Stroud.
Buffalo, so I think that's a smart play by him.
But
But
like I'm saying, like we were both hoping for that 25 to 35 point week,
yeah,
and we're getting
yeah.
that sub 20. So and then lastly, yourself, where you at, Fred?
It ain't it, bruh. It ain't it. Like I said, I'm
Now,
depressed. I'm depressed. I'm not panicked.
if you win,
Um,
where does that move the ticker?
I've shot.
All right, there we go. It's good.
That's it.
Good stuff. We will go through the matchups. So right now I'm 9-6, calling it, and the guests took it. The guests actually made a big leap. I went 2-3 last week. The guest went 4-1. So this is big here. So we're both taking daddy doubles. Like
You can't
I,
not.
I don't have a
Nothing
shot.
against you. You can't not.
Um when my projections are 126 and I have a 40% chance of winning, like I don't know. I don't know what to do. Um I just take it, I guess. So
Yeah.
Zeebs, Eric, big game. We're both going Zeebs. I
I
like
think
it.
Zeebs. I think Zeebs catches fire.
Yeah.
I think Zeebs catches fire. I think his team just primed the pump this week. No chance Mahomes performs like that again.
Yeah.
I think Vegas remembers how to utilize Josh Jacobs. Derrick Henry reminded the league who he was. You know,
And I got
I
something
think
for you.
hit me.
Zach was texting. I haven't because he's been like pretty busy with school and he's taking a class, but he hasn't been playing cornhole with us this season because he's doing his a master's thing. But he sent in a chat. He said, "I'm not saying I keep receipts from last week's talking it out, but I keep receipts." So I don't think he liked too much smack talk on him. So and I had already picked Zach to win this week anyways, but I think he's fired up. Like I think something like ignited in him. I think maybe the "Oh brother, where art thou?" Might have got to him a little bit. So it's good to see.
Hey, men gotta call each other out on their
Absolutely.
bullshit to cause each other to step up. And Zeebs, you put up 140, you grab the dub, and I think your team's here to party. Don't hang that head, brother.
Yeah.
All
So
right, Matt, we split on the next one.
yes. I'm going JL because it's JL, and you're going JT.
I'm going JT.
It's a good divisional matchup. Um, I it's going to be a good matchup. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Here-
What are you thinking?
Here's the big question: is JL traveling? I don't know that
Yes.
John sat down and watched football this year.
I believe he's still in the Pacific Northwest unless he's somewhere else. I'm worried for Tyreek Hill. My man picked up Braxton Berrios, who is like Miami's like third string wide receiver,
He did.
and he's in his flex already.
He's in the flex.
Like he's already coming. Like Tyreek Hill's done. Like the Achilles is already popped. Like
Buckle up. Buckle up. You are
I
in
lost
for it.
my mind when I saw that. So I mean, he did this with Tyler Boyd, and look at T. Higgins. He has a like fractured rib cage. So
So let me follow this here. I'm the new Zach Schwinn. Eric is the new JL. I think JL is the new Sonny because JL is not even watching football.
no,
He's just coming out
that's a
here and
fair
making a
point.
mockery of all of us.
That's a fair point. He's just throwing people in that he likes their names, I guess. I don't know. Like, what would ever possess somebody to go Braxton Berrios?
Hey man,
Anyhow,
I don't know.
uh,
I like JT this week though. I was looking through this one. I think this is an interesting one. I like JT's. I know this is such a cliche thing to say. I love the matchups, but
mhm,
like I think JL's or JT's in a good spot.
yeah. Derek versus Tyler. He's basically a bye week, so um, we're going Derek here. It is
I'm gonna be.
intriguing to see though if Jonathan Taylor comes back.
He might. Will he?
He is practicing.
He's not in the lineup. I'll be very honest with you. I didn't even look at this matchup. I just put Derek's name down. I'm sorry, Tyler
Yeah,
Bear.
no, that's
I
fair.
didn't even look at this
Um,
matchup.
Taylor was a full participant on Wednesday's practice. So Jonathan Taylor's
Eh?
probably coming off the IR soon. Um, he's going to be immediately plugged in for Singletary. So or whoever it is, like one of his backup running backs that are starting.
He's
Um,
still listed as out and currently on Tyler's IR.
so he's not going to be listed as until I think Saturday or Sunday morning. They'll flip that over. So Tyler might want to
Okay.
take him out sooner than later.
I would say we'll
Um,
see if Tyler's planning ahead.
yeah. And then he'll have Eckler next week, so we'll see. Tyler's
Yeah,
team.
it could turn around for Tyler. I mean, he's got to win. I don't have a win. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, that's true.
Tyler put up 140 points one week. I know we're ragging on him, but like Tyler, have a little hope, man. Have a little optimism. Stop with the negative all like team names. Like believe in yourself, dog. You put up 140 points one week. You got to win. You got Eckler. You got Taylor coming back. Like buck up, buddy. Buck
Yeah,
up.
yeah, it could turn around. And then lastly, you versus Turtle. Uh, I had went Turtle. You went yourself. This was. I'm going to assume he's going to start putting some players in. Um,
We'll see. If he doesn't, I'm gonna win. But like,
yeah.
but
So
no, I go ahead.
no, I kind of like you now looking at this like matchup, even if you were to put people in, but I'll stick with Turtle. Why not? We'll have fun with it. So
Turtle's got a solid team. He's
yeah,
got a solid team all around. And you know, I still feel good about my 0-4 team. And I know that sounds downright foolish to say. There are frustration points on my end. Obviously, the Garrett Wilson quarterback situation is a massive letdown. Um,
he's not that
for
bad.
whatever reason, Trevor Lawrence isn't even looking at Calvin Ridley. I know he scored last weekend, but like
He had
man
two
had two
targets.
targets.
Yeah,
So like I don't know what the deal is there. Um, you know, uh, I hope Mostert will be fine. I think Mostert will be fine. Obviously, I got what's his name, Justin Herbert on a bye, and I'm rolling with Dobbs. But I like Dobbs against a reeling Cincinnati team. But I like myself here. I do. I
yeah,
do. And
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get my first win this week.
There you go. Well, Freddie, good luck, and I do hope that you catch a dub. It's not fun. It's not. It can't be fun being Owen.
It's not.
So then we can. Okay, you catch one more 0 in that win column. We might have to start sending you guys flowers or something. So, anyways, guys, thank you, and good luck to everyone, and we'll talk soon.